Ballad number 27 of the Bab Ballads by W.S. Gilbert, read for LibriVox.org by Graham Redman. The Force of Argument. Lord B. was a nobleman bold, who came of illustrious stocks. He was 30 or 40 years old, and several feet in his socks. To Turniptopville by the sea this elegant nobleman went, for that was a borough that he was anxious to represent. At local assemblies he danced until he felt thoroughly ill. He waltzed and he galloped and lanced, and threaded the mazy quadrille. The maidens of Turniptopville were simple, ingenuous, pure, and they all worked away with a will the nobleman's heart to secure. 2 maidens all others beyond endeavoured his cares to dispel. The one was the lively Anne Pond, the other sad Mary Morell. Anne Pond had determined to try and carry the Earl with a rush. Her principal feature was eye, her greatest accomplishment gush. And Mary chose this for her play. Whenever he looked in her eye, she'd blush and turn quickly away, and flitter and flutter and sigh. It was noticed he constantly sighed as she worked out the scheme she had planned, a fact he endeavoured to hide with his aristocratical hand. Old Pond was a farmer, they say, and so was old Tommy Morell. In a humble and pottering way they were doing exceedingly well. They both of them carried by vote the Earl was a dangerous man. So, nervously clearing his throat, one morning old Tommy began, "My darter's no pratty young doll. I'm a plain-spoken Somerset man. Now what do 'e mean by my Poll, and what do 'e mean by his Anne?" Said B, "I will give you my bond, I mean them uncommonly well. Believe me, my excellent Pond, and credit me, worthy Morell. It's quite indisputable, for I'll prove it with singular ease. You shall have it in Barbara or Celarent, whichever you please. You see, when an anchorite bows to the yoke of intentional sin, if the state of the country allows, homogeny always steps in. It's a highly aesthetical bond, as any mere ploughboy can tell." "Of course," replied puzzled old Pond. "I see," said old Tommy Morell. "Very good, then," continued the lord. "When it's fooled to the top of its bent, with a sweep of a Damocles sword the web of intention is rent. That's patent to all of us here, as any mere schoolboy can tell." Pond answered, "Of course it's quite clear," and so did that humbug Morell. "Its tone's esoteric in force. I trust that I make myself clear?" Morell only answered, "Of course," while Pond slowly muttered, "Hear, hear." "Volition, celestial prize, pellucid as porphyry cell, is based on a principle wise." "Quite so," exclaimed Pond and Morell. "From what I have said you will see that I couldn't wed either. In fine, by nature's unchanging decree, your daughters could never be mine. Go home to your pigs and your ricks. My hands of the matter I've rinsed." So they take up their hats and their sticks, and exeunt ambo, convinced. End of Ballad number 27, The Force of Argument, from the Bab Ballads. This recording is in the public domain.